The quiet period is officially over. For a brief and fleeting moment, rivals in the Premier League dared to believe that Pep Guardiola's magnificent, dominant era at Manchester City was finally showing fissures. After a season where uncharacteristic dips in form and injury setbacks led them to an unfamiliar third-place finish, the whispers began. Had Pep finally been figured out? Was the revolutionary style of play that won him countless trophies globally now reaching its inevitable ceiling? It was an intoxicating fantasy for the opposition, but they made a profound error. They mistook recalibration for collapse. What they perceived as a weakness was actually the precursor to a far more frightening invention, a brutal evolution forged in the crucible of tactical necessity. This is the story of how Guardiola answered the doubts, solved the most fundamental paradox gripping his side, and unleashed a Manchester City team that can now, for the first time, not just control opponents to death, but strike them with an overwhelming, unpredictable, and rapid brutality. The core of City's tactical problem during that slightly disappointing year, the one that offered false hope to the league, was centred on their best player, Erling Haaland. For years, City's identity was built on an almost religious adherence to go-go de possession or positional play, emphasising patient, suffocating possession designed to drag opponents out of shape and create perfect geometric openings. This system thrived when teams pressed high or came out to play, but it fractured spectacularly against the league's growing sophistication in deploying the low block, when deep-lying defences packed 10 men behind the ball, sacrificing possession and space. The entire mechanism seized up. Haaland, the world's most explosive centre-forward, a striker whose entire game is predicated on accelerating into open channels, was being reduced to a static monument in the penalty box. His touches per game plummeted, his involvement in the intricate build-up disappeared, and he became a mere finisher waiting for a perfect pass that rarely arrived. The slow, methodical circulation of the ball around the defensive perimeter gave opponents ample time to reset, leaving Haaland isolated and surrounded by a forest of bodies. It was the Haaland paradox. The very system that made City the envy of Europe was simultaneously placing a tactical chokehold on the most lethal weapon in their arsenal. So, the predictability of having 70% possession, yet moving the ball horizontally instead of vertically, had become a vulnerability that rivals had successfully monetized. Guardiola, a man who obsessively views football as a series of tactical puzzles, recognized that to regain total dominance, City could not simply execute the old plan better. They had to scrap the plan entirely and forge a new tactical language. The solution was not to double down on control, but to introduce calculated chaos, transforming the team's identity from patient dismantler to rapid opportunist. This shift was immediately visible in the club's targeted transfer strategy, which focused on recruiting players who inherently thrive on unpredictability and vertical risk. The arrival of Jeremy Doku was the first declaration of intent. Doku is everything a traditional Pep winger is not. He eschews the slow recycling of possession on the touchline in favour of immediate, aggressive and direct one-versus-one dribbling. His exceptional acceleration and willingness to take on defenders forces opponents to commit multiple players to his flank, instantly creating an imbalance in the defensive structure. This act of drawing and committing defenders, even if Doku himself is stopped, generates pockets of space in the central channels and the half spaces, the exact areas the old system struggled to unlock. Operating in the vacuum Doku leaves behind is Ryan Cherry, a true free-roaming playmaker with exceptional two-footed vision. Cherry's ability to deliver quick, disguise through balls, and line-breaking flicks means he can bypass entire defensive lines from unexpected positions on the pitch, often forming an immediate and devastating connection with the front line. This intentional tactical imbalance is the heart of the new model. The slow, rhythmic passing sequence has been replaced by rapid, purposeful movements. Ball recoveries in midfield are no longer triggers for a controlled build-up, but for an immediate, vertical launch of the chaos agents. The statistics confirm this aggressive new mindset. City are now more willing to take risk, attempting a higher volume of long passes and line-breaking balls. Exemplified by games where they win comfortably with less possession than their opponents. A truly unthinkable scenario in previous Guardiola eras. The attack is now multi-pronged, relentless, and dangerously unpredictable, turning simple turnovers into instant goal-scoring opportunities before the defence has even completed its shape. This newfound offensive fluidity is anchored by a tactical adjustment to Holland's role that is, ironically, founded on making him predictable. While the new signings create unpredictability around him, Holland himself has been refined into a fixed, predictable, central force. His primary directive is to constantly pin the opposition centre-backs to the final defensive line. His physical presence and goal-scoring reputation alone are enough to draw at least 2 defenders, deep and central at all times. This singular, relentless gravitational pull is the key to the entire operation. By occupying the central defenders and dragging them toward their own goal, he physically and spatially creates the exact pockets of room in the half spaces and wide areas that Doku, Cherry, and Phil Foden are designed to exploit. The system no longer needs him to participate in the slow build-up. It needs him to be a static, overwhelming threat. His presence pulls the defence apart, allowing the others to flourish in the ensuing rupture. It is a controlled form of chaos where every player complements the others perfectly. Holland pins, Doku disrupts, Cherry exploits, and Foden drifts through the gaps, a front line perfected for brutal efficiency in the modern, low-block environment. Crucially, this aggressive, front-foot attacking structure is only made possible by a re-engineered defensive spine designed for confidence and swift transition. The addition of an elite, commanding goalkeeper like Gianluigi Donnarumma has injected a new sense of stability and authority into the box, allowing the backline to play a higher, more aggressive line. His aerial presence and comfort in claiming crosses frees up the defenders to be more committed further up the pitch. A key innovation has been the advanced role given to Academy graduate Nico O'Reilly at left-back, who functions as an inverted fullback, regularly drifting from the touchline into central midfield when City possesses the ball. This movement creates a numerical overload in the middle, giving the attacking midfielders an extra passing option to immediately feed the players ahead of him. This layer of tactical flexibility ensures that the team is never short on bodies during the crucial transition phase. When the ball is inevitably lost, the defensive strategy is rock solid. City immediately engage a compact, central counterpress anchored by the dominant partnership of Ruben Dias and Joško Gvardiol C. Their role is to funnel all opposing attacks into congested central areas, making it simple for the midfielders to win the ball back and, critically, immediately launch one of those rapid counter-attacks the new system is built upon. The combination of an elite keeper, a tactically flexible backline, and a ferocious central press ensures that despite the apparent risks of a more aggressive attacking stance, City remains defensively impenetrable. Evidenced by their league-leading statistics in expected goals against and clean sheets, Guardiola's evolution, culminating around this recent milestone period in his coaching career, demonstrates a manager who fundamentally refuses to be defined by his past successes. He has successfully transitioned Manchester City's identity from a beautiful, albeit sometimes blunt, possession-dominant force into a hybrid model centered on vertical efficiency and speed. They are now a team capable of switching tactics mid-game, able to control the tempo with long spells of possession when the opportunity arises, or strike with the brutal, direct speed of a counter-puncher when the gap opens. By not just fixing the flaw but perfecting his machine, Pep has transformed the team into a terrifying blend of beauty and brutality, a complete and adaptable tactical system designed to win in any way imaginable. The fear among rivals is no longer about stopping one player or one specific style. It is now about facing an entity that has weaponized its former vulnerability, evolving into a multifaceted monster that gives opponents no safe harbor. For the rest of the Premier League, the question is not how to beat Manchester City, but how to survive them.